he goes on and he says, the 9-year-old, that's the ex-boy, that's Dorothy, Mustafa's girlfriend, Dorothy, that's her ex-boyfriend. He says, I force and wash Dorothy's kids, the 9, so you force and
those
wash
kids into
those
the shower.
kids into the shower. And a 9, a 10.
Not his kids, by the way.
A
Not
9
his
and
children.
A 10, not his children. I mean, what 40-year-old man forces kids, he force showers them, and he's like, I'm not looking at them when I'm showering them. What the fuck are you talking about? Let's listen to that. Let's listen to the audio.
It's crazy enough to say he showers them, but then admitting that you sleep and drug with the other minor.
Crazy.
That is crazy. I mean, that's criminal activity.
And Amy Ashworth wants to say that she's tough on pedophiles. I think once this audio hits this community, Jay Jones might pull that ad down. Doesn't want a prosecutor that supports pedophiles telling this community that I support him. Look, he's going to lose that election.
Look, this goes back to the issue at hand, and that is, what communications did Sarah Sammy have with this pedophile? Okay, did she tell him when he got arrested for brandishing a firearm and having drugs and being drunk and potentially selling the drugs, did she tell him, not to worry, I will null prosecute these charges? You're not going to get prosecuted as long as you're on board with testifying against Mustafa. Okay? He's already admitted that he never met Mustafa. He's already admitted that.
I have a body cam where he admit to never meet a Mustafa. Mustafa doesn't know him.
Not only did he disqualify himself as a witness, but he's a criminal. He's a criminal. He has no credibility.
Not any kind of criminal, a pedophile.
And he sold Dorothy's belongings, putting the wrong address on a pawn slip. We'll go back to Chief Newsham and how he feels about what's going on here.
All right, let's listen to that audio.
I think I got to unmute.
Okay.
That Mustafa guy.
I don't know. I just think he just smokes weed. Cause I even asked her, like, you know what I'm saying, like, yo, you on?
Is he alcoholic?
I just know he's supposed to be. Because I asked her, like, you know what I'm saying, because at that time I was taking the shits, and I was like, hey, would it be a problem? Like, you know what, just to stop anything, I won't, if I do it, I won't do it in this house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So every time I, like, come home from work, I would do it before I get in the house.
Yeah.
Or I would step out my house, even though I shouldn't have to step out my house.
Yeah.
And every time she's trying to sleep in my bed, like, no, go in the fucking living room, yo.
She tried to sleep in my bed. He's talking about Kylie, 16-year-old Kylie. He's like, oh, I told her, get out of my bed. Go sleep in the living room. Listen.
I'm like, you're not sleeping in my bed, not with me in it.
You're not sleeping in my bed, not with me in it.
Like, I don't want none of that drama. I don't want to be caught up with none of that.
I don't want no cops knocking on my door.
So he's not worried about the minor in his bed. He's worried about the drama and what it looks like.
One time I went to sleep, I woke up, she was in my bed. I got my ass up and went in the fucking living room and slept.
I woke up, I found her in my bed. I got up and got the hell out of there.
By the way, for context, if you listen to the whole conversation, he says that there are times when he gives this minor...
Oh, you're going to listen to it. It's going to be
He gives this minor mushrooms, and she doesn't remember what she's doing.
That she's on the floor, doesn't even know where she's at.
He doesn't remember what he's doing.
He wakes up with her in his bed. He doesn't even know what he's doing.
So you're saying you drug this minor, you take drugs, and you both wake up out of bed in the same bed. What the fuck? That's disgusting.
Like, it is right now. Like, I fuck with you, my friend and all that. Like, I know we had a history, we had a past, whatever, but this is different. This is fucking different. We are grown. You are still you're in a worse situation what I met you in. Yeah. I had to force those kids to take a shower.
Force the kids to take a shower. Listen.
I had to force those
kids that are 9, 10,
and 14.
And 14.
Kids to take a fucking shower. I had to teach them how to fucking take a shower. I mean, I wasn't in there with the boys looking at them or whatever. I'm like, yo, when y'all wash up, you know what I'm saying?
I had to teach them how to take a shower. I mean, I wasn't in there looking. I was just teaching them how to shower. Hey, let that really sink in. You just talked about a 16-year-old, how she wakes up in your bed after you just got done drugging her. And now you're talking about a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 14-year-old where you're forcing them to take a shower. I'm not looking at them. I'm just teaching them how to fucking shower. Commonwealth, Amy Ashworth. Do you want to still tell this community that you're tough on sex crimes? Do you want to still tell this community that you're tough on pedophiles? You want to tell this community that you support the upcoming Attorney General, Jay Jones, because he's tough on sex crime. But yet you're turning around and you're using a pedophile as the star witness who owned body cam. Not only that he's a pedophile, admitting on a recorded line that he's a pedophile, on body cam he says, Mustafa doesn't know me, I've never met him, but yet you sealed this body cam to protect this individual in this case, and you look away.
And you wipe away half his criminal record. I mean, she wiped out 2 charges, brandishing a firearm, intent to distribute. She deleted those from the system.
I mean, that is crazy. This is wild. The details that are coming out, I remind this community, the details that are coming out of this case. This is a car accident. The Commonwealth attorney says they're arguing inside the car, that the dash camera doesn't have audio. Well, today we have an officer, Chad Mason, admit to cutting this dash camera, removing the audio. Apparently, the police department has the audio. Wait a minute. So it has audio. Amy Ashworth told us there is no audio, but her department, in the internal notes, they say there is audio. Wait a minute. They say they're arguing inside the car. That Mustafa told us that he was arguing. When you listen to the conversation between him and Robert Drum, you find out that Mustafa never said that. That the officer falsified Mustafa's statements. You find out. You cut the audio. You falsify Mustafa's statements. You're using an individual that is manufacturing lies in this case, that's telling you on a body cam, I'm not there. I don't know Mustafa. Mustafa doesn't know me.
We then go back again to Sarah Sammy.
We go back to Sarah Sammy,
who says she has not looked into the individuals. Well, Sarah Sammy, there you have it. That's your star witness.
That's your star witness. The
Amy
chief
Ashworth,
of police.
That's your witness.
You know, I'll tell you, I want to play that video where 2.5 years ago, in that lobby behind me, the lobby of the county jail, chief of police, Newsham, stood in the lobby with you and told you, I'm more than comfortable charging your brother, Mustafa Al-Jazari, with murder based on the evidence that we have. Well, hold on now.
By the way, I'll
Are
say
you
something
still
crazy to
comfortable?
that.
Are you still comfortable? I mean, the star witness that Commonwealth Amy Ashworth is using is not only a pedophile, but on a body cam that she sealed is saying, it tells you I was not there, and essentially is lying about Mustafa.
You know, I'll tell you this: in that video that you're going to play with Chief Newsham saying he's more than comfortable. At the time, I was actually questioning him about why the car was chopped up. That's what I was upset about at the time. That's what I had.
I remember he told you that's not the car.
He said that's not the car. But today is a different story now. Today is a different story because not only did you tamper with his car, and you have the obligation to preserve evidence when you're charging someone with the most heinous crime, murder. You have the obligation by law to preserve that car, to preserve the evidence, preserve his dash cam. And what do we know? Chad Mason, on the stand, testified in a motion to dismiss on October 31st, 2024. He said, I tampered with the dash cam, and I didn't know that I couldn't do that. He broke chain of custody, took the dash cam without a warrant, plugged it into his laptop, and according to him, programmed it. And then Robert Drum takes a hold of this dash camera and he tampers with it. And then finally, when they've done fucking this dash camera, they gave it to Kathy Zymas.
Who today she admits that it has audio.
That it has audio. Now, you want to tell me, Chief Newsham, are you still comfortable with my brother being charged with murder? Are you still claiming that's not the same car? Will you still stand here today and tell us it's okay for my officers to tamper with evidence? It's okay for my officers to chop up a vehicle, to tamper with it, to manipulate witnesses? Is it okay for your officers to not question a pedophile who stole Dorothy's items and pawned them using a false address? That's okay with you? For your officers to admit on body cam that is sealed, we had to steal this material to find this out, that Rob Sermon admitted he tampered with Mustafa's car. Rob Davis asked him, point blank, did you do anything inappropriate to it? And he said, yes. And then he says he's going to pump money into this case.
If you look around,
that's your officers. Are you still comfortable today the same way you were comfortable after that jail board meeting? That's my question. And what are you going to do about officers who openly violate the law? Are you a man of law and order? Is your prosecutor someone you trust to do the right thing when nobody's looking? That is my question to you.
Mohammed, I want to play the body cam where Investigator Davis is responding to a pawn slip by the ex-boyfriend, Glenn Ford, the one we just heard the audio of, where he admit to a private investigator on a recorded line that he drugs and sleep with a 16-year-old. Investigator Davis responds to a pawn slip where the ex-boyfriend took with the 16-year-old, went into the apartment. The police gave them access to Mustafa's apartment. Mustafa endorsed his apartment, pawned everything, and removed the cameras inside the apartment.
Interesting.
I mean, they're deleting evidence to show that this is a beautiful relationship, while the police on the other end are weaponizing the children.
By the way, according to
A
police,
9, a 10, a 14. They're being weaponized against Mustafa while Glenn Ford and Kylie Clapp inside the apartment, allowed by the police access to remove cameras inside the apartment.
and I'll say, you say allowed by police, and I'll tell you why it's allowed by police.